The icy wind of New Year's Eve sliced through the quiet street like a warning, and Amara Collins felt it in her bones as she locked the door of her tiny rented house, unaware that the next few minutes would quietly rewrite her entire life. The sky was pale with winter daylight, the kind that made everything look honest and exposed, and as she turned back toward her porch, she noticed a man and a small boy standing near the bus stop, their clothes thin, their faces drained of warmth and hope. Something about the child's trembling hands and the man's stiff posture stopped her breath, and in that moment, Amara chose compassion over caution, not knowing the cost or the reward. Before the story unfolds any further, if you believe kindness still matters and second chances can truly change lives, please like this video, comment your thoughts, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to the channel Dreams Dairy to support stories that remind us of our shared humanity. Amara was a single mother who had learned to survive on very little. Her days were spent working part-time at a local daycare, her evenings filled with exhaustion and quiet prayers that her 8-year-old daughter, Lila, would never feel the weight she carried alone. The house was small, the heater unreliable, and money was always a step behind the bills. Still, she had built a life stitched together by love, routine, and resilience. That afternoon, as the freezing air pressed down on the neighborhood, she noticed how the boy clung to the man's coat, his cheeks pale and lips trembling, and how the man kept scanning the road as if waiting for help that never came. Amara had every reason to look away. She was tired, cautious, and painfully aware of her limits. Yet something inside her refused to ignore the quiet desperation standing in front of her. She invited them inside, offering warmth, tea, and a place to rest. The man introduced himself as Julian Hawthorne, though there was nothing in his worn shoes or tired eyes that suggested the wealth his name once commanded. His son, Eli, barely spoke, his small body curled near the heater as if afraid the warmth might disappear. Amara gave them soup made from leftovers, shared blankets, and let them sleep in the living room while daylight faded into a gray winter evening. She never asked for explanations beyond what was necessary. She had learned that everyone carried storms you could not see. What Amara did not know was that Julian Hawthorne was a billionaire whose life had collapsed in a matter of weeks. Betrayed by a trusted partner, locked out of his own accounts during a legal storm, and forced to flee the city to protect his son from the chaos, Julian had lost more than money. He had lost trust, dignity, and the sense of control that once defined him. That New Year's Eve, standing at a bus stop with nowhere to go, he believed the world had finally turned its back on him. Amara's door opening felt unreal, like a memory from a better life. The days that followed were simple but heavy with unspoken emotion. Amara went to work each morning, leaving Julian and Eli to rest and recover. She worried constantly, questioning her decision, fearing judgment or danger. Yet every time she saw Eli smile faintly at Lila's drawings or watch Julian fix a broken shelf without being asked, her doubts softened. The house felt fuller, warmer, despite the cold outside. There was laughter again, small and careful, but real. Still, life did not magically improve overnight. Amara struggled with groceries, worried about rent, and lay awake at night calculating numbers that never added up. She had sheltered strangers while barely holding herself together. On the third day, Julian left early in the morning without explanation, leaving behind only neatly folded blankets and a quiet thank you written on a scrap of paper. Amara felt a hollow ache, wondering if kindness always ended in disappointment. She told herself she had done the right thing, even if it changed nothing. A week later, under the same pale daytime sky, a sleek black car stopped in front of her house. Neighbors watched as men in tailored coats stepped out, followed by Julian, now standing taller, steadier, his eyes clear. The truth unfolded quickly. His legal battle had turned, accounts restored, and his name cleared. The man Amara had sheltered was not just wealthy, but powerful beyond imagination. Yet what mattered most to him was not the money he regained, but the humanity he almost lost. Julian did not offer charity. He offered transformation. He paid off Amara's debts, secured her a permanent home, and funded Lila's education without conditions. He created a foundation in Amara's name, dedicated to helping single parents and children facing sudden hardship, inspired by the door she opened when the world felt frozen. Amara stood there, overwhelmed, tears slipping freely, realizing that her smallest act of kindness had echoed louder than any grand gesture. Just before we reach the ending, please take a moment to comment below with a single word that represents what this story made you feel. Your words matter, and they help this community grow. As winter slowly loosened its grip, Amara's life transformed in ways she never imagined. But what stayed with her most was not the security or comfort that followed. It was the reminder that compassion given in daylight, without applause or expectation, carries a quiet power that can reshape destinies. Julian and Eli remained part of her life, not as benefactors, but as family forged through vulnerability and trust. If this story touched your heart, inspired you, or reminded you of the power of kindness, please engage with this video by liking, sharing, and subscribing to Dreams Dairy. Your support keeps stories like this alive, and together, we can keep believing that even on the coldest days, one open door can change everything.